and BFF. In fact, more now than ever, because we are in this together. We are a community, and we have a lot to discuss. Breaking news, just a very short time ago, the U.S. has now 82,404 confirmed cases of coronavirus, meaning we have the most in the world. We've eclipsed China and Italy. Remarkable as it seems. Trump wanted to make America first. Well, he did it. And here's where we are. Think about this for a second. 82,404 cases. That number will go up during the show, just like 61,000 cases at the top of the show. And by the end, we had 65,000 cases. Right now, we have 82,000 plus cases. We have over 1,000 Americans dead. 1 month ago today, February 26th, 1 month ago, almost at this very time, Donald Trump got on the podium in his first press conference regarding the coronavirus. It was his very first one. And there he told America there's nothing to worry about. That at the time we had 15 known cases of the coronavirus. And he said that would be going, quote, very substantially down, not up. In fact, he promised and bragged of those 15 cases, it would soon be zero. And here's Donald Trump's words 1 month ago today, almost exact same time. Let's play clip number 4, please. Donald Trump, February 26, told us we had 15 cases and soon it would be zero. Yet we sit here a month later with over 82,000 cases, the most in the world, more than China, more than Italy. We have over 1,000 Americans dead. It's over 1,100 right now. How did that happen? How did Donald Trump go from saying that on February 26th? Was it Donald Trump simply lied to us like he lies all the time? Did he know that was a lie and just tell us? Are we at this point because of Donald Trump's incompetence? Or is it a merger of Donald Trump's lies and incompetence that got us to this point? It's unclear, but here is where we are. And to remind people, the first death on U.S. soil was February 29th. Now we have over 1,100 in less than a month. And we are not even close to the apex of the curve. Forget flattening, we're a straight line up. I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate irresponsibly what this number might be in a week or 2 months from now. But it's ticking up over and over and over. And today, Trump advisor Peter Navarro was on CNN and asked about, from Brianna Keilar, why did the Trump administration fail to prepare? And listen to him. Peter Navarro instantly blames Obama. In fact, not just Obama. He first blames Biden because everything is politics with his administration. Even the time of people huddling in their homes, worried for their families. Still politics. Here's Peter Navarro, and Brianna Keilar really pushes back on him a lot on this interview, telling him just stop it. Here's clip number 3, please. So you heard Brianna Keilar push back. Now on Fox News, they would. So on Fox News, they hear this was the Biden-Obama failure. Trump got sworn in January 20, 2017. As reporting came out today, he disregarded the National Security Council playbook on pandemics because Trump knows more than the generals. Trump knows more than the doctors. Trump knows everything. And this is where we are. And of course, economically, what is going on with this country today, I'm sure you've heard the news, 3.28 million, nearly 3.3 million Americans from last week to this week filed for unemployment. To give you some perspective, the highest number of week-to-week spikes in unemployment during the Great Recession, 665,000. The largest spike in the history of this nation, 1982, we had a recession under Reagan, 695,000. In this scenario, from week to week, we have now 3.3 million unemployment claims, and that is underreported. Next week, you'll hear millions more. But forget the economics. Let's look at the real world and what is going on. This is building. There's no curve. It's a straight line upwards. And various states are looking at far worse than what we're looking at in New York, potentially, if their numbers continue where they are. Louisiana now, up 500 cases from yesterday to 2,300. They're on a pace to double every 3 days. That means they have 6,000, then 12,000, within a couple of weeks, 24,000. Georgia has 1,387. That's how many cases? 1,387 cases. They've tested 6,000 people with a 22% positive number. But think about this first. They've only tested, as of this afternoon, 6,100 people. How many people live in Georgia? 10.5 million. Why so little testing? As the mayor of Atlanta said on TV, we don't have the test kits still. So Trump was just on at the beginning of his press conference. Test kits are everywhere. The mayor of Atlanta is saying they don't have the test kits, and this is what's going on. Illinois, 1,800 cases. Michigan, 2,800 cases. Texas, 1,300. These are just keep going up. California, 3,300. New Jersey has now the second most in the nation, over 7,000. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, is going to join us at the bottom of the hour for a little bit to talk about what's going on in my home state. In New York, we have now, and we're the epicenter, over 38,000 cases. To give you perspective, last night, there were more phone calls to 911, more phone calls last night to 911 seeking help for the coronavirus than there were phone calls to 911 on 9/11. It's alarming. It's frightening. You can be scared, but you're not alone. And here's Governor Cuomo today on that very point about, regardless of Trump, regardless of anything, we are in this together. And here is Governor Cuomo, clip number 1, please. We are. And this is going to be going forward when you see the new numbers now. We went from 60,000 yesterday at the beginning of the show, now to 80,000 confirmed cases in America. What we're heading to, I won't speculate to be irresponsible. But it's pretty clear it will be the most challenging time for any of us who didn't live through World War II and the Great Depression. That's where we're heading as a nation. And the way we can collectively make it better is by listening to doctors, ignoring Donald Trump, listening to doctors, listening to experts. Social distancing plays a role. It's helping us here in New York. There was a great article in the Washington Post today and another one in the New York Times, and I want to share some of it because it's moving and informative at the same time. The Washington Post, they talked about the over 1,000 Americans who have died. Now we actually hit that four digits today. And it keeps going up. It was 1,000 this morning. We're over 1,100 right now. And they talked about some of these people. There's no public reporting. Someone died. The statistic comes out. They're literally a statistic on a sheet sent to the federal government. 12 cases dead from 14 cases dead from the coronavirus. And there's a few the Washington Post just picked out to say they're not just statistics. There's people. Some well-known playwright Terrence McNally died. Talk about a rabbi, Romy Cohn died, a principal of a school. Then people we don't even know, but they meant a lot to their family. They might not be known nationwide, but to their family, they were everything. Talk about Sunday Roeder, a mother of 6 and breast cancer survivor. Alvin Simmons, a father of 2. And you go through it, and it's just so painful. And there was another article in the New York Times, and I don't think I could read it because I will start to cry. And it's not, my emotion is not for me. It's for this heartbreak of what we're going through and the pain of it. And forget Trump. I don't even want to talk about Trump. We are collectively going through the most difficult time that I can remember. And the uncertainty is fearful. And the death rate in New York, I live in the epicenter where if I travel to Texas or Florida, I'll be quarantined. But that's the least of the concerns. The concerns are things like in the New York Times today, where there's a refrigerated truck outside of a hospital in Queens, not far from where I live, where they put dead bodies because they don't have enough room in the morgue in the hospital. That they're building hospital beds at the Javits Center here because our hospitals are almost capacity in the intensive care unit, something you'd see in a movie. And I think what troubles me so much is that it seems like there's been a lie told to us that the United States is the greatest country in the world, that we can do anything, and that we see things in other countries and we go, oh, wow, that's horrible. We're going to help you because you're an inferior country. You're a third world country. But this is who we are now. In Elmhurst, Queens, at the hospital, people are lining up, and it's more of an immigrant community, just to get tested to see if they have coronavirus because you're testing at that hospital for free. As the New York Times reports, people are lining up and waiting outside of the hospital beginning as early as 6 a.m. Some stay there till 5 p.m. just trying to get a test so they know if they're sick and they're going to infect their family. There's a guy, Julio Jimenez, spent 6 hours in the emergency room Sunday night after running a fever, still couldn't get tested. Came back the next day and waited online in the rain because he wants to know if he has it, one for treatment, but for his family, for his co-workers. Doctors talk about resuscitating people while drenched in sweat under the protective care. Patients being found dead in their room when they went to another room to save someone. And this is happening in the United States of America. This is America today. And I think that's what makes it so hard for me to navigate through all of this and to understand. And I said it yesterday about when you look at what we're reading about, hospitals running out of ventilators. And in New Jersey, we have the governor of New Jersey coming on in a short time at his press conference, his daily press conference today. The commissioner of health said they hope it doesn't happen, but they're beginning to come up with plans on rationing ventilators. Triage, like they did in Italy and Spain, picking who will live and who won't live. You go, how could this be America? How can this be our country? And is it from a lack of planning? Did they see the signs? Or is it bigger? Are we just not as great of a nation as we've been told we have been, that we can overcome anything? As people, we're going to overcome this. I have no doubt. And it's a struggle, and it's hard. And I have to be honest with you. Sometimes my anger towards Trump on this issue is healing towards me. With me. It makes me say, well, hey, it's not America, it's Trump. And he failed us. But maybe it's our entire infrastructure was not as strong. Our entire nation was not as well positioned or as accomplished as I thought. And perhaps that's what breaks my heart to read about things happening in this country that I didn't expect. And a month ago, the President of the United States said we have 15 cases, we're going to 0. We have 82,000, and we're going up. Over 1,100 Americans are dead, and tomorrow I don't know how many. And it seems nothing can stop it. And you have Trump watch this press conference, and this is where I can talk about Trump literally lying again. Here's all the ventilators. Everyone's got what they need. Lying. Oh, we've done a great job sending out surgical masks. I watched the head of the nurses union today saying we're on the front line. We don't have the equipment. It's not been sent to us. Where's it being sent? I don't know, but Trump's a serial liar. And people are suffering. And this is where we are. So Do you think that where we are, is it Trump's incompetence? Is Trump's lies, a combination? Or is it something bigger? Is it something about who we are as a nation? That what we were sold about what a great nation, how amazing we can do anything, maybe that was a lie to placate us. I don't know the answer anymore. I have no idea. Certainly Trump played a big role in this. And now people are pointing fingers at each other, Trump pointing at Cuomo, which is ridiculous. The federal government's the only one that can really work with a deficit. State governments are not allowed, like New York, New Jersey, can't do deficit spending. So when years ago they couldn't buy a ventilator, they were not allowed to by law because they didn't have the money without raising taxes. No one could have seen this pandemic coming. This is like 1918 Spanish flu. That is true. But there's something about what we're seeing here, and if you don't live in New York, you might not be seeing as much as I'm seeing here. But I read the articles, and I feel like I'm reading a country in Africa having an Ebola outbreak, and that we're going to help them. Or about a measles outbreak in a poor area of Latin America. But it's not. It's here. It's a mile from where I live. And the worst part is that this is coming to your cities as well. And this is where we are, America. So talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. 866-997-4748. Be right back after this break.